What up? It's DJ Envy. Now, shout out to Real Estate Heat TV. They got the hottest new real estate channel. Shout out to my man, real estate coach Anthony Leggins and coach Armond Wright. They bring the heat with the latest strategies and techniques to take you to the next level. So make sure you subscribe now, all right? Salute.
Here we go. This is the Real Estate Heat TV. This is the hottest real estate channel in the industry. I'm the host today, Armond Wright. We bringing the knowledge from the streets all the way to the suites. We have the guest, young lady. She's doing an amazing job. She has the Bird Dog Real Estate System. It's an amazing group on Facebook. I strongly suggest everyone go there, check her out. She's doing some amazing things. She has over 12,000 followers now, and she's doing some really amazing things. Can you just tell us a little bit of how you got started in the business?
Well, I got started in real estate investing. Honestly, it was my husband's idea. He wanted to own franchises. And we're like, okay, we're 19 and 20 years old. We don't know how to do that. So we went to one of those free seminars where it's like, learn how to flip a house. And then we got there, we paid for the course and the mentorship. And it was like, okay, we still aren't able to do this. We don't have the credit, the finances. We didn't have the backing of any network or anything to help us out. So we kept going down. We found out about wholesaling. We were like, we don't know what construction numbers are. We don't know ARV. We don't know any of that. So what can we do? I found out about bird dogging. And I was like, why is there no one really talking about this? And everyone I found, it was just like they did one video on it, or there's a website on it, and it's outdated. No one's really updating the website anymore. Or it's like the name of someone's company. They're not educating people. And I was like, you know what? It's just a shame that no one's really teaching anyone about this. And my old business partner was like, you should start a group for bird dogs. And I was like, okay. And then I did. That was how it started.
Nice. So your business model, so what does it consist of?
So I love the driving for dollars model. I love finding vacant houses versus finding lists of properties, because I find there's a lot of competition when you have to look at lists. So let's just say you pick a pre-foreclosure list. Everybody's hitting the pre-foreclosures. Everybody's hitting, people who are in a system of some sort, but no one really knows if a house goes vacant. You can't record when a tenant leaves a property. Right. And they leave the grass growing, they leave the shrubbery growing and all of this stuff. So when you have that firsthand access, you're driving around, you find that property. I just feel like that is way better for me. So it would be me, my bird dog team will drive around. And what I do is send direct mail, and then I skip trace and find their phone number, all that stuff, and contact them by phone.
I think that's amazing. We did a show a couple episodes ago where I was kind of sharing some different ideas, because I look at it like, say, the bird dog, the wholesaling part. I just look at it like as a transition. So say, for example, you're starting off doing the bird dog. What's up?
You can finish. It's just I'm definitely going to say something after you finish that.
Okay. Like say you start off doing the bird dog and the wholesaling part, then you transition up. I like to advise people to get their real estate license. Then as well as you keep, progressing, and then you become a real estate investor where you buying a property and you building wealth, to kind of help take care of your needs, as well as building wealth that you can pass down to your family. But go ahead. Look like you was about to say something.
I just love how you said that. So literally after he finishes, I mentioned I'm filming my bonus units of my course. I have transition to wholesaling on my whiteboard.
Awesome. Great mind.
You go from to being a wholesaler. My whole point in my course is letting people know, like, look, it's a choice if you want to continue with this bird dog gig. But the whole reason people get into real estate is so they can buy properties and or invest their money. So I want you guys to know the next levels that you can go. And
right.
Brought that up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, and that way you can have a business, and the business can help take care of yourself, and then as well, like, you can create generational wealth where you can buy properties and hold them. My favorite strategy is the owner finance. So say, for example, these really great deals that you're finding, and the investors really appreciate all the bird dogs. You know, they really appreciate them. But you know, instead of passing off these great deals, find out a way where you can buy them. You know, and it's a lot of different strategies where you can buy the properties, and sometimes you can structure the deal where you don't need no money, no credit by structuring a seller financing deal where you can structure the deal, buy it on land contract, where you don't have to bring any money to the table. And in some occasions, you can structure the deal where you can get money at the table, even though you didn't bring any money to the table. It's a lot of unique strategies there.
Like, I'm aware of that, and I did mention this to you before, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So you have the book that I wrote, and it's the second part that I already finished, and the third part I will definitely need your help with that, since I don't have personal experience with like seller finance, sub-2, lease options, all that stuff. I know about it, I'm educated, but I don't have the experience. So like everything you just said, I'm like, yes. Because people like that part of the book will be called Six-Figure Bird Dog System for Cash Flow, and people don't know you can actually have cash flow as a wholesaler without owning property. That concept just doesn't even sound right to people, and it's like, no, you don't have to own the property to get cash flow. Let me explain.
Yes, that's awesome. So let's see, as far as, because your group is, I mean, you got over 12,000 people in the group. How did you grow it to that large? You know, so I got a couple of different groups, and I think I got like maybe 300 or 400 people, but man, 12,000, that's a lot of people. So how did you grow it to that number?
To be very honest, there's no one doing what I'm doing. If you look up bird dogs in whether it be Facebook groups or even you just Google it, all you see, like I said, is just like a few YouTube videos. Maybe some people mentioned it in a post or something. People ask, how do I get pictures on a property? People will be like, get a bird dog to do it. And that'll come up in the search engine, but there's not like a full place for it. So the fact that I pretty much have a monopoly over that area, I think that's one reason. And also I can cater to really young people. There's people as young as like 14 years old in my group. So if I could teach teenagers how to get a job with a real estate investor, I think that's going to attract a lot more people versus wholesalers, where they're constantly telling kids, you have to wait till you're 18 to wholesale. Well, what are they going to do until that point? They come to my group. So that's just what happens.
That's awesome. That'd be cool. If you have a 14-year-old, have you had any like young people that actually, got paid finding properties for investors?
Yeah, there's kids. They like, oh my gosh, there was this one 16-year-old. They posted in the group. They were like, hey, I'm looking for some investors to work with. I have experience and I know how to do this. I was like, whoa, okay. Because I was 19 when I closed my first deal as a bird dog. I made $1,500, and so you got a 16-year-old who already has experience. I'm like, wow. So yeah, they know how to work. They know what to do. They're following Gary Vee to the T. Nice.
Yeah, Gary Vee, amazing marketing tools. Awesome. You should interview one of those young people and just see, how do they go about doing it? I think that'd be kind of inspirational for adults.
I probably have to get it set up like you do with the contracts and stuff before I do a video. I think that's been one of the reasons I've been hesitant, because I did do an interview with one guy. His name is Bird Dog Bill. He actually did get to meet Gary Vee. He got started when he was 18, if I'm not mistaken. So he's in the UK and he works with investors up there. So if I'm not mistaken, he's around my age still. So he's like in his early 20s. So he's no longer like a child, but I could do another interview with him and probably some younger people as well. But like I said, I probably have to make sure I get permission
from their parents
right away with that. I don't want to get issues. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Make sure you get their parents' consent. So if it was a new person starting off in the business, what kind of advice could you give them? Say it was a new person and they have limited budget and they don't have no clue about real estate and they want to kind of get involved. What kind of advice would you give them in order to get started?
Well, of course, the first thing I would tell them is to change how they use social media. So most people use social media using their YouTube time, using their internet time to waste time. They'll be on Netflix watching, I don't know, American Horror Story, watching Empire, watching, what do people watch now? Because I don't know. They'll do all that to waste their time versus watching real estate documentaries on Netflix versus watching wholesale videos on Netflix. If y'all didn't know, Armond has his own YouTube channel.
Yes.
He makes videos to educate people. Jay Gaines, she makes videos to educate people. So just switching their time usage around to where they're educating themselves instead of using it purely for entertainment. I'm in that mode where I'm switching back because I don't know how to enjoy myself anymore. And so doing that and just getting into the mode of learning. So once you can gather as much free information as possible, or whether it's education or just understanding people, because investors talk different than regular people. And I noticed that I'll talk to someone who's not in business for themselves versus someone who is an entrepreneur or an investor. Their language is different. So you learn the lingo, you learn how to communicate with people on their level, and then you're able to take the next steps. So as far as real estate investing specifically goes, of course, I will tell people become a bird dog for someone first before you just go out, because people tell me all the time they get scammed with these mentors and coaches and stuff. Someone DM'd me and said they lost $5,000 to someone who was not credible. And I'm like, man, okay. And I let them know what their options were. And I was like, you can find I recommended Jay Gaines. I was like, you can find a reputable coach, or you could start out as a bird dog for somebody. And I explained to them what a bird dog was. She was like, oh, okay, I'll try that out first before I try to wholesale. And I was like, okay, well, that's awesome. Join the National Bird Dog List, please. Somebody can contact you. Otherwise, go to our group so you can find people in your area if no one contacts you off the list. And so I would definitely tell them, even if they don't bird dog for someone and they don't work with them immediately, just talk to them, get to know the business first, like go to different meetings. I know we're in post 2020 era, people don't want to be around each other. So like there's different online spaces where people can communicate and get to know people and just see if real estate is really what you want to do, because then you'll be able to spot out a scam artist versus an actual authentic coach. That's just one thing, because people can throw out fancy words and make it sound like they know what they're talking about. But once you actually get to know how people work, then you know, oh, this person actually does know what they're talking about. I'll give them $5,000 without, hesitating. And it's very, very different. And so they do decide to become a bird dog, work with those people and still get a coach, still get a mentor, especially if that particular person that they're working with does not choose to mentor them. Still do that so they can make sure that their wholesale operation goes well. Because like I said, there's a transition between being a bird dog and a wholesaler. You know how to do the lead generation part, but you want to make sure your numbers are right and not be like the laughing stock of your market, that type of thing.
Right. Awesome. Well explained. Awesome. So as far as, like going from day to day, what keeps you motivated? What kind of things you do to keep yourself motivated?
To be very, very honest, I think that question for me is interesting because I have a platform. I will sometimes be like, man, I kind of wish I didn't have this, because it feels like a lot of responsibility. One of my moderators had let me know a few months ago. They were like, I've had the group for almost 4 years now. And at the time it was 3 years. And he was like, people shouldn't be bird dogs for 3 years. And I was like, I know, I know people need a way to go to the next step. So me having the bird dog platform and creating the mastermind group and helping people out, that is what gets me going on the education side of things. And what gets me going in my actual wholesale business is knowing that I failed so hard and wanting to have income for my family members. So I got my family members as my bird dog team. And so I know that as long as I'm working their leads, and I'm getting some more, of course, but as long as I'm working their leads, I always have the potential to pay them at any given time whenever their deals close. And that is really where I'm at with that. I want to make sure that, of course, I'm providing myself income, but I won't be paying myself too much. Most of my money is going to be going back to the business anyway, and they are part of the business. So it's me making sure that my company is running and making sure that my bird dogs, my family, and whoever decides to work with me making sure that they have income, like extra money. Like,
Yes.
you know, in real estate, we make big money. So making $500 or $1,500 extra, that's a whole stimulus check. So
Right.
everybody would enjoy that. And it's not coming from the government. It's coming from something that they actually did. So that's the two different sides where I'm helping people and educating them, and then providing for my own and for my company.
Nice. So you mentioned your company. What does that consist of? Like, how many members do you have? How are you guys structured?
Okay, so that's actually getting put back together. Like I said, I failed really hard. My old team, we had at any given time, we had anywhere from like 3 to maybe like 10 bird dogs.
Oh, wow.
And it was 4 of us. It was me and my husband and our 2 other partners. And not to my knowledge, one of the partners had never closed a wholesale deal. They didn't know what was going on. And the other partner was like having us watch Sean Terry videos to learn how to wholesale. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm here. I've already closed a few deals before. Why are they completely ignorant to what's going on?
Right.
That's not what was said in this original thing. So my fault for not vetting my partners that well before we got into business together. And then allowing us to get such a large team and not paying them. That hurt me so much. I was like, we have to fire these people, not because they didn't do their job, but because we are not structured properly, and we have to let them go. That hurt me a lot. So I'm taking things a lot slower. I'm now by myself. I no longer have my husband with me to help me anymore. So it's like I have to take things a lot slower, but that I think is a benefit too, because I'm just at the point where I'm like making sure that I'm taking all the right steps. So like you said in the group chat, I sent the video earlier. I had screen recorded my computer where I showed you guys how I let my bird dog team know what's going on. So in that video, I sent my bird dogs a copy of all the leads that they have sent me over that period of time. So all the leads that they put in, I have them find the properties, and I have them put in a Google form. I show them how to look up on the tax assessor their information. They put it in to the Google form, and then I get the Excel sheet from the input of all the leads. I send them an email and let them know, hey, you guys, I have just sent direct mail to all of these leads that y'all sent me, and I'll let you know when I start my text campaign or my RV and my ringless voicemail campaign. And so I keep them up to date with everything that I am doing, letting them know that I really am working their leads. I'm not going to steal their leads. I'm not going to close and then not pay. It's not going to be that type of thing. So that's how I do it. I make sure that, they know exactly what's going on. They find the leads, they send them to me. When I send mail out, I let them know when I send the mail out. When I text, I let them know when I text. And when I send a ringless voicemail, I let them know each step of the way.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, if you wanted to step up to like a paid platform, that REI Black Book, they have a little internal program that kind of, but you have to pay for it, but they have a little internal program where you can help communicate with through everyone. I don't know if you've seen a little link I had with the propertyfinders.com, where the people can submit the deals. It's got like some auto responders in there. I'll send you the link. You can check it out, but that's through REI Black Book. It's pretty cool. So the one question which a lot of people are wondering about as far as with the bird dogs and the wholesaling, how are you guys handling as far as all this stuff coming out in the news where they saying wholesaling is illegal? So how are you guys handling that?
I just mentioned this in the 6 Figure Saturday video live stream earlier. Like I specifically said this. I'm not making videos on it right now simply because I'm not all that educated on it, but I have been watching other people who have made videos on it, who have the articles linked in their videos or on their platforms to inform people on it. So I made a playlist on YouTube. So on the Bird Dog Real Estate YouTube channel, you can find a playlist called Wholesaling is Illegal. So you can get everybody else's input on it. I knew about it, like, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name, but it's the dude with the glasses and the beard. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. I think he owns the company Flipster, where it's a CRM. Like it helps you flip really easily. I forgot his name, but he started making videos on it really early. I think like late 2019. So I was like, oh, this is big. So I just made a playlist and just kept track of anyone talking about it. So I'm like, you know, I hope Tennessee doesn't get on the list, but if it does, I'll be up to date because it's pretty much the same thing happening.
Right, right. My take on it is that like we were talking about that transitioning, right? So say for example, you know, people are going to start where they're going to start at. So you starting off at the very, very beginning, say you're starting off as a bird dog. However, usually, you know, usually people as a bird dog level, from my experience anyway, that they kind of be like kind of off the record anyway. But say for example, you transitioning from a bird dog and you moving right on up. You know, it's a lot of money out there. So instead of going from bird dog to a wholesaler, how about going from bird dog to real estate investor, where you actually buying the property? And then if you buy the property, you can either keep it, you know, or you could turn around and buy it today and sell it tomorrow. That way you are a real estate investor. So you're kind of doing the same thing, except for you using either your funds or some transactional funds to actually close on the deal in order to mark it up by X and then turn around and resell it either the same day or the day after. And that's just my take on as far as how to deal with the those new laws or whatnot. You're actually not a bird dog or a wholesaler. I'm a real estate investor.
I mean, I agree with that. I think that's the smartest thing to do. But, you know, people, I don't know if it's like fear or if whatever the situation is. So on one side of it, it's younger people, and I'm like, they can't do that. So, you know, that's one thing. But for the older people, it's like, yeah, go from being a bird dog to an investor. You can start flipping your only rental properties. They'll look at you like, what? So I think it's the mindset more so than the actual occupation. Because here's the thing, you can be a bird dog for like 2 years, stack up all your money from that, specifically put it in a savings account or a CD or something. And then when you're ready, you've done all the research that you need to do. You learn about flipping, you know, ARVs, all that stuff. You don't have to, like you said, you don't have to be a wholesaler. You can go straight into owning properties or flipping them and whatnot. But like I said, I think it's the mindset really.
Right.
I do think that if you keep saying that, it will become more popular and people will understand the concept like, hey, look, I mean, I think wholesaling is cool, but look at the reality of where we're at, you know, like that, the stigma around it for one, and how people are treating wholesalers at this point. They're not really liking that concept. I don't think it's a problem still. I don't think it's too much of a problem where people can't wholesale anymore. But I do like the concept that you said as far as like getting the knowledge that you need in REI and going straight into flipping instead of feeling like you need to wholesale. I also talk about investing in REITs, REI investment trusts. If people don't want to flip or whatever, use their money to invest in real estate instead of, you know, using their money to buy real estate. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. So you got that in your gonna be a section of that in your book too, the REI the trust. That's what's up. That's awesome. Now that's something that I haven't got involved with as of yet, but yeah, I'd be interested in learning on that myself.
Oh, for sure. Like I'm learning about it a lot. I want to start my own with BDRE. So I rebranded. So it's still Bird Dog Real Estate, but it's BDRE. I want to get to the point where we're doing, you know, the right numbers to where we can have REITs and ETFs in our actual company. So that's something I'm excited about. That won't be for a minute though.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to say that, you know, I've been, you know, following along, you know, the bird dog groups and how, you know, the different things you post and the different interactions. I think you're doing an amazing job, and, you know, keep up the good work. I know at one time in there was some this guy was posting some negative stuff, and I just like the way you handle like the negative stuff, and then when people post things that's outside of real estate, you always take the high road. And I just wanted to say, you know, good job on that. I think you got an amazing thing going, and I wish you nothing but the best. And for all of our viewers, I want you to make sure you type into the Facebook that Bird Dog Real Estate, and make sure you subscribe to the group, join the group, add some value, learn. I think you're doing an amazing thing, and we wish you nothing but the best in the future. So we go get ready to close this up. Is there anything you would like to add or share?
No, I don't think so. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Me and Armond, the Wholesale Diva J Gaines, and oh my gosh, Glenn, we all did an interview around this time last year, and I just love how everybody's just leveling up. I love being around people. That's why like I allowed them into the mastermind group with no fee or anything. Because it's like, okay, these people are nothing but a benefit. So whenever they post something, my moderators might have questions. I'm like, no, let them post whatever they want to post. Okay, they're doing nothing but adding value to everybody. I really just want to say thank you. Much gratitude from me, Bird Dog Real Estate, and everyone who is on their REI journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And everyone, as we normally close this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everyone's support. So you make sure you like, subscribe, post it on your Facebook, post it on your LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, create a LinkedIn, show some love and some support. And we thank you again for the opportunity to interview you. I look forward to seeing much more great things from you. And until next time, we're out. Peace.